What's going on, my friends? It's been a while since I've been online, and that break I took was probably one of the best things I've done in a long time. It's one of those things that you've been doing in your journey, and it's like a pivotal point where it changes you for the better, and then you hit a new plateau. It's a higher plateau, and then you master the challenge in that plateau, and you go higher and higher. And the thoughts that a person like me has many times, I analyze the psychology of situations around me, and I see what's happening and what my reaction to it is. And something random happened where I was just thinking about a person that has a scamming company. Like you hear those Indians that call, I'm Indian, okay? I was born in Bihar. Okay, Bihar. I was born in Darbhanga. It's a village. And I came here when I was 4 years old. Here meaning Michigan, rural Michigan. And now I'm here in California. And I've kind of lived in between two worlds my whole life. And seeing the psychology of them, I'll tell you, the ones that are doing it, they're justifying it in certain ways. For example, let's scam them because they invaded our country, and and look what they did to us, and oh, I want to scam them. It's like a game psychology. It's like a core, like yeah, I got this guy. I got this old lady, this white lady. British. Whatever. I'm sure the Indians scam people in Britain too, because scammers everywhere, right? And the thing is, it's about your reaction to it. That is the What's your reaction to it? Does it disgust you and make you angry and make you feel sick? And it just really changes your body chemistry when you're in that anger and hatred. And maybe you're a victim of one, or it's I understand it's very annoying. But your reaction. So my reaction is like, okay, what is if my reaction is boiling this and that, then it is it's going to be a triggered emotional response. But now I look at it as, what, I wouldn't do it myself. Would I work for somebody that does this? Of course not. Would I? Because it's a low energy. See, it's the energy of revenge. It's the energy of scamming. It's the energy of you know it's a very low energy kind of vibe to even do that. And I don't want to be that at that energy level, okay? Because people that do that, it that guilt somewhere in their deep consciousness comes out, or that uh, I'm not gonna say karma, because karma is just cause and effect. They cause certain things in their mind. It just a very deep psychology. It gets into Carl Jung. It gets into Eastern metaphysics. And it gets into metaphysics. It gets to a different symbolism, and then it gets into quantum reality. And this is what it's all geared towards, to control the reflection, which is the effect. You have to start planting seeds in your subconscious mind, and from the conscious mind you develop habits where it feeds that seed in the subconscious mind. It's like it's like the ego, the fleshly desire self, the why I am, or I am this, I'm that. That part of you gets put in the driver's seat, the passenger side, okay, or just passenger side. They're not driving anymore. They're not supposed to drive. That part of you is not supposed to drive. That part of you is being chauffeured. That part of you is the effect. So when you plant those seeds and you live in that higher part, and you feed that by doing different rituals, by understanding the uh, vibration frequency, by understanding your energy, by understanding what you're made up of, by understanding the truth of reality and what you are. you know, and you see that everything that has happened to you is supposed to happen. And then it's like you have to recognize that party. You have to recognize that the soul is start. Hold on. My water bottle. Ah. Okay. Okay. So I mean, that's the psychology of people that scam. But they're a reflection for you too. So if you are angry at them and you know, and you're aggressive towards them, there's a part of you that wants to go after somebody. Maybe you're scamming your soul. You know, maybe you're scamming your soul by not pursuing your dreams, by keeping in the shadows of life. And and when the shadows do happen, you're hiding and you're eating late night and you're falling into bad habits that are very low level and they keep you in a depression state of mind. Because a depressed person is a frequency. A depressed person eats a certain way. Okay, a depressed person thinks has a certain frequency around them. A depressed person attracts certain things. Okay, because I can tell you that because I used to be a very depressed person, and the depressed person is literally think of it as a trapped in a certain dimension, and it's like you're possessed by depression, and it comes in all different forms because it's unique to your depression. How depressed are you in your mind? How it all comes out to what is your consciousness and what is the divine and you know what is a man and human and a man, you know, is it a gender thing? No, it's a man. Adam Kadmon, mon, you know, in linguistics it's mon is um I forget, sorry, the like Adam Kadmon is like a hue mon. Hue is the colors, all the different frequencies, and the mon is the, oh gosh, it's like a physical vessel, you know. No, that's not it. I forget. Uh, doesn't matter. Don't get caught in, you know, just language and oh, you have to do it this way, otherwise you're wrong. No. Wow, your words give me chills. I only started realizing this very recent such cool synchronicity from the universe. Yes, and it's the universe is you because you are seeking at a certain frequency and you've manifested me because where are you happening? You're happening in your mind. But your brain, your physical brain is not your mind. It's the tool that the energy can flow through. You know, it's just a vessel. It's just a avatar, literally. And the more it's like it's not a little bit. Oh, okay, it's weird. It's like you have to have not faith by knowing, and knowing is by experience. So you maybe experienced lows and highs, and you know I've been living a certain way, and until I started to really start coming out of the masses, what the masses do. You know, I was political. I went to a, you know, 1980, 19, 2000 and like 11 through 2014, we moved to Ohio, and I was part of like Obama, you know, like thing, you know, and I went to a rally, and I like Bruce Springsteen and Bill Clinton and all them, hanging out with them, and it's like, what the hell am I doing here, hanging out with Bruce Springsteen and Bill Clinton, and you know, it's like, what the hell? How did I get here? You know, it's like, but it's like, it was energy. I don't know how it happened, but it just happened. And the thing is, I realized after you know, when I was a police officer, I got into situations where I was at a low frequency. Had I understood what was happening, because I was always daydreaming this kind of stuff. And I was always thinking about, oh, hanging out with, celebrities and this and that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I was obsessed with celebrities. I wanted, to, uh, I just wanted, I just imagined myself like in those that lifestyle, and things started happening, but it had no focus. I had no focus, and it wasn't like I knew what I was doing. And not only until I hit rock bottom, and that lifestyle wasn't, it's just based on, like, the only reason I realized people hung out with me was because I can get into any clubs. I was only 21 through 27 years old, or 20, sorry, 20 to 20, like 6 years old. I was a police officer in Detroit, Michigan. And I realized the only reason why people hung out with me was because I can get them anywhere with my badge. Like, I was going to these freaking, I mean, it was amazing because I saw a certain reality. I saw what happens across that red, like, private rooms, and how they behave, and what the image of people say it is, and what the truth is. For example, I was in Miami, South Beach, and I ran into uh, I ran into Puff Daddy and his girlfriend at the time, who was a it was after Jennifer Lopez. I don't know. She's a black model, okay, and there was a Ferrari that stopped right in front of me. I was crossing the street, and it was her, and I was just like, wow, she's. I mean, it was beautiful. Like, it was just art. I mean, I wasn't like lusting after her, and like, oh, no, I was like, wow, it's like there's something different about this person. It's not because I don't know who it was, but it's the magnetism of the energy that they projected, and it was like, what? It's like something different, And that night, it was New Year's Eve, okay, and I was at a club, Crowbar, I believe, and his crew was all there, and I saw her, and I was like alone and everything, I saw her, and I took it's just like the movies, right? I went to the bar and I said, hey, can I get a drink? Because I had a table. I said, can you give her a drink? You know? Oh my gosh. I said to, as Puff Daddy's girlfriend, okay, I said to my stewardess, she's like, are you sure you want to give her a drink? She wasn't like, I was like, yeah, I was like drunk and stuff, not belligerent, but I was drunk. I was like, and then anyways, I gave the drink to her, right? I didn't give it to her, and then I swear, like 5-10 minutes later, I don't know, I felt these huge, like crushing my shoulders, not in a bad way, but it's like, and I was like, he said, like, don't fucking give my girlfriend a drink. And it was Puff Daddy. And I was like, I wasn't scared or anything. I was like, kind of like, like, I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he probably was, that's why he's like, oh, this guy, he's like, he's not meaning any harm, he doesn't have a chance. Just like, but it's ballsy to fucking do that, right? It's ballsy to fucking give Puff Daddy's girlfriend a drink and get approached by him, and like, but I was a cop too. So anyways, nothing happened. And then maybe 5 minutes later, because I wasn't like scared or anything, there was a bar, okay, Crow Bar, in the VIP section. There's like three floors. The main floor, and then the VIP floor, which oversees the main floor, and then there's another room, and it goes up, and that's where people are doing cocaine, like, sniffing and like all that kind of stuff. And you'd be surprised who goes there. Like, man. Anyways, whatever. And then, because I was in Miami for a month on my furlough, vacation, 22 days, not a month. Anyways, what happened was, she. So I was like, okay, I was alone, I was like, geeky guy that's like, fucking, who's this guy fucking alone in New Year's Eve, fucking just at his own table, because the person I came with, he was getting fucking high upstairs, and whatever. So I was just alone there, and then at the bar, I see a person just sitting there, just standing there, just staring at me, right? She's just looking at me like, who the fuck? And I saw her, and I started to approach her, and these bodyguards stopped me, and then she's like, let him go, you know. And then and she it was like, that's the New Year's, 5 4 3 2 1 thing. The ball was falling on the TV, and that's when like she gave me a kiss and a hug, and and I went back, whatever. I left, right? We left. I left, and I went back to my table, and then like all of a sudden, maybe a few minutes later, these girls that were like in the distance in this corner, a group of them, they're like, oh, how do you know her? How do you know her? This and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and then she's like, you know who that was? I'm like, I have no idea. He's like, how do you know her? It's like, I don't know her. She was Gianni Versace's, Gianni Versace's sister. I think that's her name is Gianni Versace. Uh, well, she took over Versace. She took over Versace. That was her, and I was like, wow. Now thinking back at this moment, it was many many years ago, but I can look back at those situations, and it connects the dot into what I was into back then. And now, since I know that, okay, now when you have focus, how do you keep that focus? How do you keep your brain waves at a certain alpha state where you're planting seeds in your subconscious mind? How do you get over old energy ties and like old baggage that doesn't allow you to break through your old self and bad habits? Or how do you go over every time someone says something to you, you fall into like a really deep state of depression, and your dad says one thing to you and you're done, you're like, oh fuck, you're like, again, 11 years old, getting slapped, but like, this is me I'm talking about, right? And it was like that kind of situation until I understood that, and how there are entities and energies, and it's all within, and your consciousness. And I had to understand the scammer in me to understand the scammer out there, because the scammer out there is actually a reflection of part of you. Now, are you going to fall into the old reflection and try to save the world? Or are you going to just be like, you know what, I don't want to scam people. I want to do something where I'm uh, putting my energy to benefits benefits something else, and it's a win-win situation. For example, like, I refuse. I wouldn't want to work for the medical industry. It's not that okay, if you do, or it's like the person. I'm not talking about the medical industry per se. I'm talking about the, like, okay, why don't you be a nurse, or why don't you be this or that? I'm talking about, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's a stable career, but you have a certain life. Okay, you will be at a certain consciousness level. Your connection with the divine will be at a certain level, because your divine will become what gives you sustenance, which is your job. Job, which is Job. You know, it means a prison. It means to bind. I'm gonna end with this. There's a little word play. Because all frequency, vibration, is all from the word. You are formed by the word. Your words can create reality, and the words you say to yourself creates your reality, your inner reality. The words you say to yourself, and the words you say to others, the words you say to all these words are feeding. It's a certain frequency and a certain wavelength. This is quantum mechanics I'm talking about. You know, quantum particles and wavelengths, and gosh, it gets freaking insane. Spirituality and quantum physics, same thing. They just have different words for it. They call a quark, the smallest measurable thing is a quark, and maybe in a spiritual sense, it'll be, oh, it's like an atom seed. It's like a seed of a mustard seed. That means very, very, very small. Now, very, very small means a quark. But we're stuck when, like, no, no, this language is true and that's true. But then they're believing science, but it's like they are. Once you realize what you are, you will see that it's not about, oh, I'm bad, or good or bad. It's about polarity consciousness. It's about, you know it's about your vision. What do you want to do? You don't get what you want in life. You get what you are. And what you are is your thoughts. What you are is your habits. What you are is your what you eat, how you think, how you even like. Why do you watch TV? Why do you what do you do? Why do you do the things you do? To a very core level, and it's difficult, but it's discipline. It takes discipline, and if trust me, if I can do it, and I'm doing it, I'm not done. It's never done. It's never over. It just somebody like me, look at my videos. How many videos do I have on this channel? Like look at my old videos from a couple years ago, and you'll see a different energy because it's true. Okay, I wasn't the same person. I can't be. I was 60 pounds overweight. I was depressed. My back was different. I had a different lung. You had a different. Your skin regenerates, right? You are what you eat, but you can cause hormonal change just by thought alone. You think about bliss, and you think about the time with your mom or whatever you want, or you could think about the time you got slapped and all that stuff. It's going to change the frequency and hormones in your body. And how does that happen? It just happens out of nowhere. It's like, oh no, it's because this gland and this gland. But fine, where did they get that energy from? Where did that gland start from? Where did that come from? It's like, oh, it came from this. Well, where did that come from? It's just electrons and neutrons and protons and in geometry and like atoms spinning around, and it's just certain frequency and vibration and particles and whatever. Okay, so I have to go, uh, and I'm gonna watch the rest of the sunset. The sun in the cult is you. Your physical. You're the sun. You are the sun. What house is the sun in? Where is aspecting the sun? Where is this thing? Where is that planet? Where it's all about yourself. Because as above, so below. Okay? As above, so below. Okay? Assalamu alaikum, peace, shalom, whatever. It's all good.